My name's MC Kinnerz, you're listening to Dope UK. Well, I first got into rapping when I was in college. I wrote a rap and I asked my mate Toro Morley to rap it for me on a track, and he said he didn't feel comfortable rapping someone else's lyrics. And then he said, why don't you have a go? So I started having a go, and that's when he turned around to me and said, you know what, you're not too bad, why don't you try doing it yourself? And that's how I started, and I'm still doing it to this day. Well, I take inspiration when I write lyrics basically from anything that goes on in the world, things I've been through, because I had a pretty tough life when I grew up in Hull, and everything inspires me. I can log onto Facebook and see something from a news interview that inspires me to write something. Someone can say something to me in 2 seconds and I'll think, you know what, I've got a great song to write about that. Anything inspires me, and I think that's the way all people should be, rather than just writing mindless crap about getting pissed and getting high. Write something that's meaningful, that actually means something, rather than bullshit. Well, what I'm working on at the minute is I'm working on a new EP which features a couple of artists, local artists. It features Ferbs, it features Alex Bailey, and it's possibly going to be featuring a emcee in Manchester as well. But that's going to be about 5-6 tracks. But I'm also possibly going to be working on another EP aside that, which is going to be not straightforward hip-hop. It's going to be a little bit weird and a little bit different, but I'm hoping people will enjoy it. And 2 other tracks that are going to be on my EP are up for free download off my SoundCloud, www.soundcloud.com/Kinnerz, and that's End of the Road and In Memory Of. Well, the people I'd collaborate with, basically, I'd rather collaborate with people I know, because they know me as artists and they know me as an artist, rather than someone I'm going to pay to come in and do a verse for me who doesn't know me for toffee. I'd rather collaborate with someone that knows me as a person as well, so they know what I want and they know how I'm going to want it and how I'm going to want it to be done, rather than have to ask me, how do you want this doing? They're going to know it instantly. As soon as they hear the beat, they're going to say, right, this is how you're going to want it, rather than ask me to how I'm going to want it. And I think that's the best way to have it. Yo. MC Kinnerz, Dope UK. Ha. Yo. Hope for the world to one day feel peace instead of fighting over money, leaving soldiers deceased, families left with tears rolling down the cheek, looking to religion for the guidance that they seek. Emotional when they hear the songs of day they say goodbye. Cameron's words tasting bitter like the tears he cry. His thoughts are just another soldier left to die, with no honest answers, just another bunch of lies. Families left hanging just wondering why. Kids growing up with only anger in mind, the only thing that they can do is diversify. One hand on the chest, one raised up high. Nazi salute from the National Front. They think it's the only way to rebel against the government, so the hatred don't stop, it just all descends. Only thing I wanna know is when's it all gonna end?